Guess what? We say good morning to you. We're live. We get a Chick-Fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City on this Wednesday. It's Hump Day, the first day of summer, 2017. It's going to feel like it outside here in the hills of East Tennessee. So we say good morning to you. Show number 543, and they said it wouldn't work. And so here we are broadcasting live, having a big time. We thank you for being with us again here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. And so we have guests lined up ready to go. Hank Brown's going to join us from the Crazy Eights Road Race. He'll be with us coming by here by phone in a little while. Haley Query from First Priority is going to join us at the bottom of the hour. Greg Salyer talking with us, of course, Major League Baseball update, lots going on in the bigs. He will join us as well. And then Dave Angie from the Johnson City Press, our weekly visit from the Ange Master, and so we're looking forward to doing that as well. We're going to be joined by a young lady here just in a second from Chick-Fil-A, as we call it. The lovely Drew Leach is in the house. She's going to join us coming up in just a few minutes. We always start our show. We dedicate to the man who hung on the cross unashamedly. We dedicate the show to the Lord Jesus. And here's the verse to get us started today. It says, "Look up. Your help comes from me, the maker of heaven and earth. I will not let your foot slip. I'll watch over you day and night. I will keep you from harm both now and forevermore." Can't get any better than that, folks. Psalms 121, verses 1 through 8. Again, look up. Your help comes from me, the maker of heaven and earth. Who else would you want to help you? The man who's made all this. I will not let your foot slip. I watch over you day and night. I will keep you from harm both now and forevermore. So there you go. And so with that, she's here. We borrowed her for a few minutes. She's in the house. Here she is, ladies and gentlemen. Look at her. A smiling lady. Look up there and smile. Look at her. She is so photogenic and such a nice young lady. Drew Leach with us. You see the employer trainer, Chick-Fil-A. So, okay, I'll play. What is an employee trainer? I know it's Tom. I train employees, but folks may not know exactly what you do. Tell us.
Well, I train all of the brand new employees here at Chick-Fil-A Johnson City Crossings. As soon as they come in, I get to give them a welcome. Well, I don't train all of them. I train the front crew. But I welcome them in, make them feel at home, make all the nerves go away.
So the front crew's the folks on the front line, the cash registers, right?
Yes. That's our number one priority, that's for sure.
That's exactly right. The ones that are pressing the flesh and meeting the folks, that's what it's all about. So, and so they go through training videos, I guess?
Yes, we have this modules called E-Train, and that just helps us get more focus with Chick-Fil-A outside of Chick-Fil-A.
Yep. Coming up, we got stories on Philip Fulmer, Tiger Woods, the College World Series, Major League Baseball, NASCAR. Got all kinds of stories coming up here in a few minutes. But I got Drew for a few before she has to go back over and get back at it. So we got some cool things going on. Tell me about this latest sandwich, the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich from Chick-Fil-A.
Well, it is my absolute favorite. It comes with a yeast bun, which is new. Chick-Fil-A's never done that before. I really like it. It also has the sauce, the Smokehouse sauce, already on it, which is also a new thing we do. And my personal favorite is the brown sugar and pepper blend bacon. It is so good, so delicious.
Connie says it's like eating candy.
It is eating candy.
Yeah.
It's the employees' favorite thing here by far. Even probably over the milkshakes. They're that good.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's so good.
It has trumped the milkshakes here at Chick-Fil-A. So I don't know what the bacon is, what it's all about, but it is awesome. You're exactly right. You guys have been selling a bunch of these too, haven't you?
Yes, it's only been out for a few weeks, and it's our most popular item right now.
On the screen, Drew Leach, the employee trainer of Chick-Fil-A. Then also we've got a summertime drink that is out of this world, the watermelon mint lemonade. Tell me about that.
Okay, well, it's like it's the same exact lemonade that we normally sell, but we add the watermelon mint flavoring to it. And I was a little skeptical at first, but it is so good. It is just dive into it. It's wonderful. I love it.
It grows on you, I can tell you
that.
It
does.
I mean, if it's hot like today, it's going to be the upper 80s on the first day of summer and muggy here in Tennessee. You would want to swing by here at the Crossings in North Johnson City and get yourself a watermelon mint lemonade, and then something rolled off just on Monday. Brand spanking new. If you're someone who needs to eat gluten-free products, we've got it at Chick-Fil-A. Tell me about that.
Yes, we have the new gluten-free bun. We absolutely love it. It's packaged separately, so nobody has the fear of it actually touching gluten. So we, if you want the meat, the grilled, because it's gluten-free, we'll put it in a side container and we'll let you guys assemble it. So that way it is not in our gluten kitchen at all. So it's wonderful. We love it. I've heard wonderful feedback from people who are gluten-free and they like it. I haven't tried it myself. I'm going to today and I'm excited. It's good.
There you go. Now we're going to talk about the salads here in just a second, but tell me about It's Hot milkshakes. We got them here. Again, also the frosted lemonade. Tell us about that.
Okay, well, my favorite milkshake is the cookies and cream, but we also have the seasonal peach, so if you like peach, come now, because now's the time, because it doesn't last forever. We have strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate. We also have the frosted lemonade, and my other favorite, the strawberry frosted lemonade. It's the bomb. I love it.
I didn't know you could do strawberry frosted
Yes,
lemonade.
you need to try that.
I did not know that. I've just learned something new. You can do the strawberry frosted lemonade from here at Chick-Fil-A. And, of course, salads. Folks trying to watch their weight and eat healthy. And not that the other food's not healthy, but if you're into salads, you've got a good choice of those, too.
Yes, we have a market salad, which is our berry salad. It also has blue cheese on it. We have a Cobb salad, which is bacon, egg, and corn. And then we have a spicy Southwest that has a bean cord blend. It's really good. I like it.
She's so good. I can just get up and leave and say, Drew, I'll be back in about an hour.
Okay, you go work here in the kitchen, and I'll do this.
Let's do that one day. Let's swap out. Let Drew do this. Let me go over there. You talk about Disney on Parade. You want to get a video camera. So people don't realize, of course, you guys stay slammed here, but it's not easy work, is it?
Oh, no, it's not easy, but I like it. It's definitely enjoyable. It's rewarding.
Yeah.
So.
And back in the kitchen, those guys and girls, they stay after it, don't they?
Yes, they're good. They're good. We are definitely spoiled with our wonderful help.
You got it. All right. Spencer's flagging me, so got to have you back. So, Drew Leach, the employee trainer of Chick-fil-A, we appreciate you, dear.
They're calling me back.
Yes, and we thank you very much.
Thank you for having
All
me.
right, good job. JT's Needner. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We're live here at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. We'll be right back right after this. We're going to take a look, and actually we'll check in with Hank Brown. Hank's going to join us coming up next here, and we'll do that with the Crazy 8's Road Race here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. He's there. He's with us. He's live. He is on the other end of the phone. Of course, you see on the screen on the phone, Hank Brown, the creator, director, the head bottle washer. You name it, he does it all. He and his lovely bride Natalie. The Crazy Eights 5K coming up next month in Kingsport. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Tom. How are you?
Just fine, sir. Busy time. I know you are swamped because you're booking runners, you're taking care of medals, getting folks signed up. There's lots going on. So kind of give us an overview of what's going on with the Crazy Eights, the granddaddy of them all, the road race coming up next month in Kingsport as a part of FunFest.
Well, Tom, we appreciate you letting me come on and talk about it. And you're right. This is kind of the busy time because we've got a lot of deadlines that are due and ordering T-shirts and medals and booking athletes and things like that. So it's July 15th in Kingsport. It's during FunFest. And this is, I think, the 28th year that we've done it, and it even goes back beyond that when you look at the old FunFest midnight race. So this goes back a long way, and it's kind of our signature event that we do each year, and it's kind of my baby, if you want to call it that. So I've started it in 1990 and sticking with it. So a lot of good things going on this year. We've one thing we like to talk about is we've moved the start time for the 3K and the 8K an hour earlier. And we had heard from a lot of people that they'd love to come running, they love the event, but if we start at 10 o'clock, it's really kind of late for them and their families, and by the time they get home, it's really late, and it's hard for them to get up and get to church in the morning and all those kind of things. So we're going to give it a try this year, Tom. We're going to start a little earlier on the an hour earlier on the 3K and the 8K. The little 8s will still start at the same time, so everything else is the same time, but we're bumping up those two events so everybody can get home just a little bit earlier. Another new thing we're doing is we're calling it the Totally Crazy competition, and it is kind of totally crazy. The 3K, we've calling it the Almost Crazy 3K Run Walk, and we're timing it this year. We have not timed that event in a very long time, so everyone that runs or walks that event can get a time. It's still family oriented and non-competitive. There's no awards or anything for it, but you can see your official time when you finish. And then if you want to, you can turn right around, put on another bib, and go run the 8K. And if you do both, then we're going to call you Totally Crazy, and we're going to give you 2 medals. One was the 8K medal, and the other is a Totally Crazy medal, which is an outer ring, and the 8K medal fits inside of it. So we're pretty excited about all that, and we're getting a great response on that. So that's kind of some of the things that are going on.
We're talking to Hank Brown again. We're live with us on the phone from the Crazy Eights, and of course they'll be coming up next month in July on a Saturday again in Kingsport, in and around J. Fred Johnson Stadium. So let's zero in for just a second for folks who aren't going to run but would like to walk and do it for a good cause and do it for a lot of good causes. Number one, it's healthy for you, but number two, you can get out there and walk for a great cause, and it's coming up on July the 15th. Tell us about the walk part of the Crazy Eights evening.
Well, there are a lot of people that like to just walk, and that's fine. We love to have the walkers there. And the 3K, like I said earlier, it's designed you can either walk or run. So we hope that a lot of people will come and walk in the 3K. In fact, some people actually walk in the 8K, and that's okay too. So we don't have any time limit. So we hope people will do that. And there are, we do have some charities that they can walk or run for if they'd like to. So if you don't mind, I'll go ahead and name those off. We call it the Race to Raise Charities, and that's our kind of our charitable arm of Crazy Eights. And we give back around $6,000 every year to these charities. And the way it works is, you don't have to raise money for the charities. You just when you sign up, you just click a drop-down box and say, this is a charity I want to support. And the one that gets the most that sign up under their name will get the most money, and everybody gets something. So it's all a win-win. But the charities this year we picked are Ainsley's Angels, American Cancer Society,
Very nice.
Boys and Girls Club of Kingsport, Healthy Kingsport, and let me tell you, that group is really excited, working hard. Kingsport Child Development Center, the Mingo County Diabetes Coalition, and the SBK Animal Shelter. So I think it's a little bit of something for everyone. You should be able to find some group to support when you register.
Well, also, you know, you're talking about Mingo County, West Virginia, so this is not just the Tri-Cities. That money goes back into West Virginia to help folks with diabetes in southern West Virginia, so that's a very, very nice touch, too. So how do we get signed up? How do we designate which particular charity that we want to have our money go to?
Well, what you do is when you register, Tom, you just it's very simple. During the registration process, we created a drop-down box with all of these Race to Raise charities on there. You just check the one you want, and like I said, the more, like for example, if you wanted to support the Mingo County Diabetes Coalition, then the more people that sign up for them, then then they'll hit higher up in the standings when we all tally it up, and the more money they will get. So it all works out really well, and like we didn't want to put pressure on people to feel like they had to raise money for anybody. And you just paying your normal entry fee, and then we at Crazy Eights, we will be giving money back to these charities.
It's all win-win for everybody. Again, we're talking to Hank Brown from the Crazy Eight. So in closing here, give us the website, tell us where we need to go to find out all the information we need to know about for the Crazy Eights next month. Well, the
website is crazy8.org, and that's the word crazy, the number 8, the letter S.org. So crazy8.org. It should have all the information you need. We also have a Facebook page, which we keep updated daily. We have always something going on every day, and Natalie's really good about blowing up our Facebook page with all kinds of fun and new information that's going on. We also have a new app this year, Tom, that people can download on their phone. It's real easy to find and keep up with all the latest things. So a lot of ways to keep up.
Yep, and we're very excited. We're going to bring the show over there next Wednesday to the press conference, the Crazy Eights press conference. Of course, I have the privilege of being the MC of the event, so can't wait. Get over there. We're going to actually bring the show over there next Wednesday at Food City on Eastman Road and broadcast the show there and roll right into the press conference. It's all going to be right here, so very excited about that. Appreciate you letting me do that. So we'll see you over there next Wednesday, and it's going to be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to being over there and hanging out with you and Natalie. You're great folks and do a great job for runners and running as a sport here in the Tri-Cities, and I'm just pleased as punch to be your buddy, and so I look forward to seeing you over there next Wednesday.
You're definitely my buddy, Tom, and this is going to be neat. I think it's going to be, and we appreciate you coming over, and you're going Facebook Live, I understand, right?
Yes, sir.
Right
Absolutely.
From the event, and that'll be fun. That's the first time we've done that. So a lot of new and first-time things going on. It's hard to keep up with all this technology, but you do a good job.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, I'm an old country boy, an 8-track boy in an MP3 world, so there you go. So
there you go.
Hey, I'll talk to you next Wednesday. Have a great day, all right?
Yes, sir. All right. Thanks, Tom.
Yes, sir. Class act right there, Hank Brown. I appreciate him very much. And you look under the dictionary in class, there's a great big old 8x10 glossy of Hank Brown and also, of course, his lovely bride as well, Miss Natalie. Tom Taylor Sports Show. Haley's going to join us coming up at the bottom of the hour. Quick running through some sports to pass on to before we take a break. University of Tennessee president has hired former Vols football coach Philip Fulmer as his special advisor for community, athletics, and university relations. Not a bad job. Part-time job. Going to pay him $100,000 a year. That ain't bad. A part-time job for $100,000 a year, plus a monthly allowance of $2,500 to cover expenses not reimbursed by the school. Also receiving 8 skybox tickets for every home football game. So Philip Fulmer back in the Tennessee volunteer football family, again as a special advisor for community, athletics, and university relations. So There you go. A little closer to home, former East Tennessee State basketball player A.J. Merriweather receiving quite an honor. He was drafted by the Harlem Globetrotters. The 2017 college slam dunk runner-up champion found himself in good company. So, hello, Brother Tig. How are you? Give me some taters. You doing good? Looking good? Yeah. A dear guy, Mr. John Abe Tig, stopped by getting a little lunch here at the old chicken coop. So anyway, A.J. Merriweather drafted by the Harlem Globetrotters to, again, be a part of their team. We'll see if he goes ahead and does that. That's pretty cool. That's because the guy can jump out of the gym, and so he will be on the Globetrotters draft list. So pretty neat stuff there. Other sports news, Tiger Woods checking into a clinic to get help dealing with prescription medication for pain and a sleep disorder. His agent says not sure how long he will stay. He's at an undisclosed location for inpatient treatment. I totally get that. He said pain medication at times was the only way Woods could get up and get out of bed and get going. So he has now checked himself into an undisclosed location to, again, get help dealing with prescription medication. And that's very admirable for Tiger Woods to do that. And that'll be an inspiration to other folks as well. College football, you have the NCAA clearing transfer quarterback Will Greer to play at West Virginia at the start of football season. Dana Holgerson confirming that yesterday. While at Florida, Greer was suspended for 1 year for testing positive for performance-enhancing drugs. Greer completed 66% of his passes for 1,204 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 3 picks while he was a freshman in 6 games at Florida. He is expected to take over the starting job after the departure of Skylar Howard. West Virginia opens its season on Sunday, September the 3rd in Blacksburg against the Hokies of Virginia Tech. Tennessee sprinter Christian Coleman, who ran a 9.8 in the 100-meter dash in the NCAA Division I Men's Outdoor Track and Field Championship, leaving the school to compete professionally. Coleman announced that on a Tennessee website. The junior from Atlanta broke the collegiate record with his time of 9.82, the 4th fastest time by American in world history. So Christian Coleman says, I'm going to test the professional market. So he's leaving University of Tennessee to run professionally, and I'm sure there's lots of money waiting for him because of his talent. So that's a quick look at what's going on around the sports world. Coming up, we'll be checking in with Greg at the top of the hour with the MLB update. We'll check in with him. Major League Baseball update at the top of the hour. Also a little bit later on, Dave Angie joins us from the Johnson City Press. Again, here we are, the watermelon, first day of summer, the watermelon mint lemonade. How about it? Fresh squeezed Chick-Fil-A lemonade mixed with natural watermelon and mint flavors, and also available diet lemonade as a lower calorie option. Also, you have this sandwich, Connie says the bacon's like candy. The Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich. Again, there you see it on the screen, grilled chicken with brown sugar and pepper blend bacon, topped with Colby Jack cheese and Smokehouse barbecue sauce, served on a toasted sweet yeast bun for a limited time. There it is, the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich at your local Chick-fil-A. Of course, we're at the Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City. Quick break, we'll be right back. He's here, brand new guest, first-time guest. Guy's doing some good things for the Lord, and I'm all about it. We'll take a look and visit with Mr. Haley coming up next year. We're live at Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City. Show number 543 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here are the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. We follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Show number 543. Countdown to Bristol. We're 56 days away from the truck race. We are 59 days inside of 60 days to the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race, which means we are 58 days away from the Food City 300. We'll tell you how you can get tickets from your local Food City for a discount price coming up here in just a second. As we always do, got to give props to PanteneBeautifulLinks.com. This is the organization we're growing the hair for. Campaign to create free real hair wigs for women with cancer. And so when it gets the proper link, we'll whack it off, mail it in to Pantene Beautiful Inks, and they're going to offer free, and they do offer free real hair wigs to all women who've lost their hair due to cancer treatments, whether it's radiation or chemo or both. So as I've said, I've lost both parents to cancer, so it's my little way of giving back. So you can check it out, PanteneBeautifulLinks.com. When I talk about that, it's interesting how many people have done it in the past, either with Locks for Love or with Pantene Beautiful Links. So anyway, check it out, PanteneBeautifulLinks.com, and when it gets the appropriate link, we hope soon we'll whack it off and start over, because it's a great organization, and we're doing, as I said, my small way of giving back to the to folks, because I lost two parents with cancer. So there you go. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show. There he is. No, that's not him. There he is.
Hello.
There you go. Haley Ware's with us again from First Priority. Had a chance to meet him the other day. Of course, he's doing great things to further the gospel, and so every chance I get, I want to talk about that. So, again, he's brought me a little cheat sheet, but for those out there who have no clue, tell me what First Priority is all about. First off, thanks for coming, and let's jump in here and go. What's it all about?
Well, when you saw me the other day, I was wearing my T-shirt that got your attention. That's our vision statement. It's the hope of Christ in every student. We believe that if the church, the body of Christ, works together, that every single student that comes through the school system in any community could have a chance to hear the gospel and respond to it multiple times before they graduate high school. So the idea of First Priority is that we unite churches around middle and high school campuses and then empower their students to create student-led, adult-mentored campus ministries at their schools. And because of the First Amendment rights and the equal access rights, the students have the right to create Christian clubs, and in that process they share the gospel with their peers.
As long as it's student-led, right?
As long as it's student-led, yes, sir.
How many schools are you in right now?
Last year we were in 15 schools.
Awesome. Here in the media
here between Marion, Virginia, and Newport, Tennessee. It's our kind of our region there.
setup question, a softball question, but what has been the feedback when you get into the schools and you present the gospel? I'm assuming the kids accept it and they're like sponges. They want to know more, right?
Well, last year the students in our ministry shared the gospel with over 1,800 students at school, awesome. And 244 of them responded to the gospel.
How many?
244.
Wow.
So for every student leader we train as a missionary, we see 20 students hear the gospel and 3 respond.
We're talking to Haley Ware, you can see on the screen from First Priority. So teachers get involved and business leaders get involved. Tell me about that.
Teachers are involved because every campus organization has to have a faculty sponsor, and you don't have to believe in the organization and what our purpose is to be a faculty sponsor, but it helps a lot. So we have some really dynamic Christian teachers that they are restricted a little bit about how they can share their faith and live out their life as Christ on their campus, but they enjoy being able to empower students to have the freedom to do that, and they see quite often that's their ministry to their school, is helping the students share the gospel.
Throw out, I don't expect you to name all of them, but throw out some of the schools you're involved in this year.
Well, we are in every school but Marion High School in Smith County, Virginia. We're in 4 schools in Cocke County, Tennessee. We're in Cherokee and Sir Gornsville Middle School in Hawkins County. We're in Tennessee High, getting ready to launch in John Battle High this year, and that'll be our first in Washington County, Virginia. And so those are just a handful of the ministries that we're in, schools that we're in.
Is it hard to knock that door down and get in?
No, it's a hard thing. Unfortunately, it's a hard thing to get churches to work together, to see the school as a vision, as a mission field. But once the students decide they want to do it, there's really nothing that limits them. They have the equal access rights and they have the First Amendment rights to start the ministry. So, like I said, unfortunately, it's just trying to get churches to work together. We are so divided as the body of Christ across denominational lines and stuff like that, that I see better improvements. Things are starting to come together, especially as our culture declines. The churches are realizing we've got to actually do something different than we have been doing, working together in unity.
That's sad, isn't it?
It's sad, but that's what Satan does. Satan is the great divider. I mean, the first thing he did in the Bible is he divided Adam and Eve from each other, divided Adam and Eve from God, and kicked them out of the Garden of Eden. And he's just been the great divider since. God is a God of multiplication, so the devil was obviously a God of division.
Creating chaos. So that's what he tries to do, but we answer to a higher power. Again, the verse of the day is, excuse me, out of the book of Psalms. Look up, your help comes from me, the maker of heaven and earth. I will not let your foot slip. I'll watch over you day and night. I will keep you from harm, both now and forevermore, out of the book of Psalms 121. That's the verse for today's show, and so that's exactly what it is. He says, look up, your help comes from me. So nothing going on right now, Haley, as I tell people all the time. I said, nothing going on out here has got the Lord by surprise.
That's correct.
Everything going on, he orchestrated it, ordained it, knows about it. He's okay with it because there are no, as Charles Stanley said one time on a sermon I was watching, there are no panic buttons in heaven. So it's good stuff. So anyway, we're talking about First Priority, and so what does First Priority look like for students?
Well, they start a campus club at school. They meet before or after school, or sometimes during, just depending on if the school system has a club time during the day. They meet once a week for about 30 to 45 minutes, and they go through what we call a HOPE cycle. It's an acronym, HOPE, that stands for Help, Overcome, Prepare, and Engage. The first week of the cycle, they're helping each other understand and express the gospel. So students are teaching each other what the gospel is and then how to share it. The next week is Overcome Week, so they're overcoming obstacles and fears that are in their way of sharing their faith. P is personal testimonies, preparing personal testimonies. So we want every student that's engaged in the ministry to be able to share their personal story, and through that share the gospel. And then the last week is Engage Week, and that's engaging the campus with the gospel. It can be done one of two ways. They can ask students to come to their meeting, where a student will share their testimony and present the gospel and ask for a response, or they can go out on their campus during that time frame where the students are gathering. Most time before school, the students are gathering in the cafeteria or the gym or something like that, and then sit individually one-on-one and share the gospel with each other.
We're talking to Haley Ware, obviously from First Priority. Coming up at the top of the hour, we jump in and talk lots about Major League Baseball. Bottom of the hour, we'll be in with Dave Angie from the Johnson City Press. Got lots to cover with Angie, the NBA draft, of course. Spring Nationals, Thunder Valley Nationals just finished up at Bristol Dragway. We've got the NBA, as we said. We've got NASCAR going on the road course this weekend to Sonoma, California, with two new winners in the Cup Series. Tony Stewart was there a year ago. Of course, he's retired in the Xfinity Series. You had Sam Hornish Jr. winning that race. He is not in the field this year, so you have two new winners. We'll talk about that with Angie coming up here in a little while. We're talking again to Haley Wary again from First Priority. So do you get down to the middle schools? Or you primarily at the high schools right now?
Middle and high school.
Yeah.
In fact, middle schools seem to have more participation in. The students are not driving yet, not working jobs and all that, and they're a lot more enthusiastic about working together, typically.
Probably to a certain degree, probably more receptive too, right?
Yes.
The older they get, I think the more. I think it's like rings on a tree. You know, the older they get, the tougher it is to penetrate them. But that's why the Lord talked about getting them young and getting them early, and it says in 2 Timothy that He goes out seeking to devour the young like a roaring lion. So we got to get them trained up early, and so they're doing a great job. How many folks on your staff?
I am the only full-time staff member here. I have a part-time assistant does the financial books, but the cool thing about it is because it's the ministry of the local church, I help the church do the ministry, so we don't have to have a huge staff. We just need to have churches that want to see it done, and we come in behind them and support them and engage them and challenge them.
So look in the camera if there's a church out there that would be interested. Again, you're talking in the immediate, from Marion to Morristown. That's a big area. So if you're out there and you're in a church and you're interested in plugging in and getting more information from Haley, talk to them and tell them how they can get a hold of you and how you'd like to work with them.
Well, our website is First Priority BR. The BR stands for Blue Ridge, but firstprioritybr.com. You can also find us on all the social medias at First Priority BR. And our phone number is 423-676-3585. I'd love to hear from you. Love to help you empower your students to be missionaries to their school and share the gospel with the generation.
Last question. I want to get him on a regular basis, too, because it's another way to reach our young people. And, of course, I wouldn't want to be a kid this day for anything with the peer pressure and everything they got to deal with, much more so than I was a kid. So a lot more temptations, for lack of a better term. So someone who's out here trying to reach our young people, I'm all for that. What's the coolest part of your job for Haley?
To watch a student be reached with the gospel and then watch him have a chance to join a group of fellow believers, learn how to share his new faith, and then bring another student to Christ.
It don't get any better than that right there, folks.
It does not. It does not.
So I do appreciate you. Tell us about your website again.
It's firstprioritybr.com.
Firstprioritybr.com. Check it out. And again, if you're interested, you're going to hear a lot from this guy. I'm going to have him on a lot because I love what he's doing. And of course, right now it's kind of downtime. We're getting ready to crank back up for the new school year, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So it's all good, and we appreciate him very much. And we thank him for stopping by here and being with us. So we're going to
thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. So now, summary. Oh, there we go. See, I'm a technical. The mouse is not working. I'll flip. You know why a mouse wouldn't work? Except I'm talking about the Lord and the enemy's trying to mess it up. So, reckon the battery's dead? Hope not.
Maybe.
No,
sometimes so.
Because I don't know what to do.
You don't have another battery?
No, I don't know what to do. You're supposed to be able to do this thing too, but I see. Now what do I do?
Just use the trackpad. Yep.
I don't know what all this is, but
I'll run over to there and buy you some batteries at Best Buy if you need them.
I don't know why it's doing it, but all of a sudden the mouse ain't working. So Jeremiah's somewhere going, I don't know. So I guess I need to control it with this. Anyway, we're having a technical snafu. This is the man who lives with 8 tracks being put into an MP3 world, and it's just I don't know, something's not going right, but we'll trudge on. Anytime I talk about I can promise you, Haley, anytime I talk about the Lord, you can guarantee something goes on this thing every single time. So, what's he saying in the book of James? Rejoice when you get into divers temptations and when you get into trouble, because that means that you're doing something right. So,
yep.
Anyway, there you go. So,
well, I've always heard if you don't run into the devil every now and then, you're probably walking in the same direction he is.
There you go.
So,
let's try something here real quick. Just for kicks. Yes, we're on live show, and it's an old country boy that.
There you go.
There you go. See there's more than one way to skin a cat, I think. So there we go. Hey, with the monkeys. We'll take a break. Haley Wary, see, I didn't panic and remain calm. So first priority. Yeah, firstprioritybr.com, right?
Yes, sir.
There you go. Good job. Get yourself something to eat. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings, North Johnson City. Show number 543. They said it wouldn't last. Be sure and like us and share us, by the way, and you do. And I want to say hello to the folks up in West Virginia. They're listening. Got folks in Alabama, got folks in Florida, got folks, of course, here in the Tri-Cities, in Pikeville, Kentucky, Erie Castle, and those folks. And so thank you to everybody watching the show. We'll take a break. We'll be right back, and we'll trudge on here on a Hump Day Wednesday on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At takeoff, an NHRA top fuel dragster braves the same intense G-forces as an astronaut leaving Cape Canaveral. For power that's out of this world, don't miss the NHRA Thunder Valley Nationals at Bristol Dragway. Tickets start at just $30, and every ticket is a pit pass. Witness the raw power of 10,000 horses, June 16th through the 18th. Visit ThunderValleyTix.com or call 423-BRISTOL.
It's raining savings at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. We have a massive selection of over 700 new Chevrolets to choose from, with 400 of them Silverados. Silverado Crew and Double Cab LTs, $11,000 off MSRP, 20% off 17 Equinox and Traverse LT, 15% off Silverado HD gas engine. Don't miss out on the best savings of the year to purchase a new Chevy. Saturday parts and service hours and shopping online 24/7. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We are live here again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Let's take a look at the College World Series from yesterday. You had 2 teams eliminated. You had Texas Christian eliminating Texas A&M 4-1. Florida, the Gators prevail over Louisville 5-1. So today it's a losers bracket game. The Florida State Seminoles at 46-22, taking on LSU at 49-18. It'll be a single game at 7 o'clock tonight. Loser will be eliminated. Winner will move on. It's double elimination. Both have lost. LSU losing to Oregon State on Monday, and Florida State losing to LSU last Saturday. And so those two teams play tonight. Elimination game, the loser goes home, and the winner will stay on and try and get into that final two best-of-3 championship series. Tomorrow, Texas Christian and Louisville play in the winners bracket. Then on Friday, you got Oregon State and Florida State still going, so a couple of teams already been sent home. And yesterday, the very latest was Texas A&M. The Aggies go down in flames. The final score was 4-1. And so today, it's elimination game between the Seminoles of Florida State and the Bayou Bengals from LSU. Again, the loser will go home, and the winner will keep it on. So that's one of the things going on. NBA draft coming up tomorrow. Here's in order. Philadelphia from Brooklyn through Boston. The 76ers will have the number 1 draft pick tomorrow. Then come the Lakers, the Boston Celtics, Phoenix, Sacramento, Orlando, Minnesota, the New York Knickerbockers, Dallas, and Sacramento are the top 10 of the NBA draft. That'll be tomorrow. And so if you are interested in the NBA, that would be who is your top 10 as far as the draft. The number 1 selection last year was Ben Simmons, went to the 76ers, played at LSU. 2 years ago, Karl Anthony Towns from Kentucky went to Minnesota. 3 years ago, Andrew Wiggins, the guard from Kansas, went to Cleveland. Anthony Bennett, back in 2013, went to the Cavaliers from UNLV, the Running Rebels of University of Nevada, Las Vegas. 2012, the Kentucky Wildcats, Anthony Davis went to New Orleans. 2011, the number 1 pick, of the draft. Kyrie Irving from Duke went to the Cleveland Cavaliers, obviously, and having a heck of a pro career. And then 2010, John Wall, who also played at Kentucky, went to Washington. So those give you an idea of the last number 1 draft picks over the last couple of years. And so NBA draft tomorrow night, again, so it'll be, again, in order, Philadelphia, the Lakers, the Celtics, Phoenix, Sacramento, Orlando, Minnesota, New York, Dallas, and Sacramento are the top 10 of the picks for the NBA draft. Coming up top of the hour, we'll have our buddy in 13 minutes or so, our buddy Greg Sire due to join us, and we're looking forward to went to Elizabeth by mistake. Be here in 20 minutes. Oh, okay. Got you. My man from River Gorge went to the wrong store, so he said he'd be here in a few minutes, so there you go. Do want to tell you about the folks at Food City coming up on Friday, Midnight Madness sale. 'Tis time to save at Food City, at all Food Cities. We're going to be at Food City next week. We'll be at Food City on Clinchfield Street, getting ready for the 4th of July weekend. This Friday, we're going to be at a brand new location at Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen plant in South Johnson City. We'll be there on Friday. Tomorrow, our regular stop at Champion Chevrolet, the number 1 Chevy dealer in the state. Here are some of the specials for the Midnight Madness sale. Food City Fresh fryer breast tenders for $1.99 a pound. Red seedless grapes, 99 cents a pound with a card. Also, you have Folgers Classic Roast Coffee, $6.49 with a card, Food City Value card. You have also coming up on Friday, Mayfield Novelties, brown cows and fudge bars and all the different Mayfield novelties made right here in Tennessee, in Athens, Tennessee. The Mayfield Novelties, a 6-pack to a box, $1.49 a box, limit 4. Coming up again on Friday. Also, Powerade, 8-pack of 20-ounce bottles, 3 for $9. Also coming up on Friday with the Midnight Madness sale, Food City Food Club Toaster Pastries, 6 to a box, only 69 cents coming up on Friday. Also, you have the Terry's Variety Pack Chips, 18 to a box, limit 4 for $4.99 for the kids for the summertime. These are the Variety Pack. You have cheese puffs, barbecue chips, classic chips, and nacho cheese. Again, limit 4, $4.99, and that's great for the summertime for the kids being out of school. Mayfield Ready Leaf Tea by the gallon, $1.49, limit 4. And those are some of the specials going on Friday, the Midnight Madness sale at all Food Cities. And, of course, as we said, we'll be at Food City coming up, not this Friday, but next Friday we'll be at Food City again. Food City in Kingsport, Clinchfield Street, downtown Clinchfield. Or downtown Kingsport, rather, on Clinchfield Street. As we told you earlier, if you're a West Virginia Mountaineer fan, big news for the Mounties, as they have been granted the right, and the NCAA has cleared quarterback Will Greer to play at West Virginia at the start of football season. While Florida, Greer was suspended by the NCAA in October of 2015 for 1 year for testing positive for performance-enhancing drugs, which he purchased over the counter. He failed the test because of an over-the-counter supplement he used. He decided to transfer In 6 games as a freshman in Florida, including 5 starts out of 6, Greer completed 66% of his passes, 1,204 yards with 10 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Will Greer, a junior, expected to take over the starting job after the departure of Skylar Howard at West Virginia. They'll open their season September the 3rd in Blacksburg against the Hokies of Virginia Tech. So that's big news if you're a West Virginia Mountaineer fan. This guy is a good one. He can throw it, and he's going to be a big-time immediate asset, obviously, to the West Virginia Mountaineer football program. Brian Howard matched his career high with 12 strikeouts and 7+ innings. Omaha native Ryan Merrill homered to start a 3-run third, and Texas Christian beat Texas A&M 4-1 in the College World Series elimination game yesterday. The Horned Frogs of TCU are now 0-2 for the first time in 5 all-time College World Series appearances. The Aggies have gone 2 games and out in the last 3 appearances and have lost 8 in a row in Omaha. The Aggies are gone. TCU again stays alive in the College World Series. We told you earlier it's Florida State and LSU at 7 o'clock tonight, and yet another elimination game in the double elimination tournament. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live at Chick-Fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City. We're talking baseball at the top of the hour with our man Greg Salyer. He joins us coming up here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, live from Chick-Fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Chick-Fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
We're back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Coming up tomorrow will be at Champion Chevrolet, the Crossings in North Johnson City, the #1 Chevy dealer in the state, over 50 dealerships. They are giving away, how about this? You talking about something cool. Coming up on July 4th weekend, on July 4th I should say, not on the weekend, but on July 4th on that Tuesday, they're giving away here in Johnson City a 2017 Sonic LS, over $17,000 value. All you have to do is go to the website Pepsi-fireworks.com. They're working through Food City, and they are going to come up with 15 finalists, put them up on the stage. It's really cool. Each person is going to have a Pepsi can, and so one by one, going down the line, there's 15 finalists up on the stage in front of everybody on July the 4th at Freedom Hall here in Johnson City, outside of the big outdoor concert. And all the neat things going on for July 4th, followed, of course, with the fireworks. So Champion Chevrolet will have all 15 folks up there, and one by one they pop the top on the can of Pepsi, and they pour it out. There will be 14 that will pour brown Pepsi syrup, and one will have Sierra Mist in it, which is the Pepsi drink, of course. And the one that has the Sierra Mist and they pour it in the cup, that person wins a 2017 lock, stock, and barrels, not a lease. They toss in the keys, it's theirs, a Sonic LS. Pretty cool. And so you can only imagine the drama and the stress up here on the stage when you've got 14, yourself and 14 other people, and somebody's got the can, pop it, pour it, it's brown. Next one, brown. And then if it's you, pop it, pour it, it's clear Sierra Mist, you win the car. Pretty cool. A lot of drama. And so that's coming up again, as we said, on July the 4th. How can you find out more about it? We'll be there tomorrow talking about it. But again, for today and anytime, go to the website, Pepsi-fireworks.com. Champion Chevrolet, of course, Pepsi, Bristol Motor Speedway, Dixie Stampede from Dollywood. All these folks giving away some pretty cool door prizes. Everything starts at 5 o'clock on that July 4th on that Tuesday. Again, musically, you have Ashley Tragler and Six Gun, Jimbo, Whaley and Greenbrier, Austin Moody. You've got Claire Dunn, who's opened up for Luke Bryan and Florida Georgia Line. It's all free, by the way. There's also a tribute to the military with music by Elizabeth Painter. All this going on right up to the fireworks again on Tuesday, 2 weeks from yesterday. Again, July 4th weekend coming up next weekend, and July 4th on that Tuesday is the day of the event. And so if you want to put yourself in the running for a free, brand spanking new 2017 Sonic LS from Champion Chevrolet, go to the website, Pepsi-fireworks.com, and get all the information you need, and good luck. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be here, I promise you, before you know it. As we told you, Philip Fulmer is now part of the Tennessee family once again. He has been brought back into the fold, which is a pretty cool thing. And so Philip Fulmer back in with Tennessee in a kind of a PR capacity, part-time job, making $100,000. That's not bad. We do that. We do a full-time job for $100,000. I ain't gonna say more than that. That's good. So anyway, Fulmer is now involved in the University of Tennessee back in a kind of a PR ambassador capacity. NASCAR news coming up. Let's take a look at what's happening. Again, they'll be in Sonoma, California for the race out there this weekend, which they'll run, of course, on Sunday. And it will be the Toyota Saymart 350. Tony Stewart, no longer in the circuit, of course, retired as the defending champ of the race. Monster Energy practice starts out there on Friday with a couple of practice sessions. Then at Iowa Speedway, the Camping World Truck Series, they'll crank up with their practice session. And, of course, the race itself will be on Friday night with the M&M's 200 presented by Casey's General Store. That will be at 8:30 on Friday night from Iowa. Then on Saturday, the Iowa Speedway, they'll come right back again with the American Ethanol E15 250. And the defending champ of that race from a year ago is Sam Hornish Jr. And so that's going to be coming up on Saturday night from Iowa Speedway. Then from Sonoma, California, the road course coming up on Sunday at 3 o'clock our time here on the Eastern Standard Time will be the Toyota Saymart 350. Again, Tony Stewart, the defending champ of that race from a year ago. Let's run down the points for you as we've got them so far here in 2017. And it goes as follows. First off, we'll start with the Cup Series. Kyle Larson with a 5-point lead over Martin Truex Jr. Rounding out the top 10 comes Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski, Jamie McMurray, Jimmy Johnson, Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano, the top 10 in points right now as they head off to Sonoma, California. Next week, we'll start the second half of the season. We'll be back in Daytona for the second round. Everybody going back to cycle back through all the tracks, including, as we said, 59 days away from the Bass Pro Shop NR8 night race at Bristol. And so this week in Sonoma, California, the Xfinity Series leaders heading off to their race in Iowa this week. Elliott Sadler with a 21-point lead over Justin Allgaier. Then comes William Byron, Daniel Hemrick, Brennan Poole, Ryan Reed, Cole Custer, Matt Tift, Michael Annett, and Blake Cook, top 10 in points right now in the Xfinity Series. Then also coming up for the Camping World Truck Series on Friday night, the M&M's 200. Again, you have your points leader, Johnny Sauter, with a 38-point lead over Christopher Bale. Then comes Matt Crafton, Chase Briscoe, Ben Rhodes, currently 5th in the Truck Series, Grant Enfinger, Ryan Truex, Kaz Gralla, John Hunter Nemechek, and Noah Gragson. That's your top 10. The Truck Series going on right now again for 2017. We'll have more to say about that coming up tomorrow and Friday. This week, Pat Patterson is off. He's taking some downtime. He's on vacation. So Pat won't be with us this week, but he said he'll be ready to be back in the saddle, ready to go to talk about the second half of the season, starting with the second half down to Daytona week after next. So, again, Pat Patterson not with us this week, and we totally understand that. Pat wants to get away and have some downtime, and we certainly understand that. So we're going to do some of that as well here a little bit later on this summer. Everybody needs a little downtime. We're going to get a little downtime as well. He's in the house. He just showed up, and that's good, right on the schedule. We'll take a break. Our buddy Greg Sire, he'll get settled in, and we'll talk Major League Baseball. There's a lot to talk about next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Chick-Fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Okay.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We is live. Look at him there. My man. Oh, he walks in. Everybody knows the guy. They're all waving at him. Haley knows him. And Jonathan knows him. And everybody knows this guy. Why not? He's Greg Salyer. He's our Major League Baseball update guy that we talk with every week. Talk a little baseball. And, whoo, there's lots going on, Bubba.
Oh, a lot of stuff happening right now.
Yeah. Where do you want to start?
Let's talk about 9-game losing streaks. The Reds finally ended their 9-game losing streak. They did actually beat the Rays on, I guess it was Tuesday, and then or Monday. No, Tuesday. And they no, it was Monday they won the game. Yeah, Monday, and then they lost last night.
It's been so long, you can't.
Yeah, I can't. They started another losing streak last night. It was 1 in a row, and they're getting ready to start right now. They start in about 10 minutes, so we'll see what happens today. But 9-game losing streaks since 2015. There's been 15 of them in Major League Baseball.
Wow. How many of the Reds had?
5. 5 out of the 15 the Reds have. No other team has more than 2. The Twins, the Braves, and the Phillies all have 2, and the others belong to the Rockies, Royals, Angels, and the Rays. But, I even tweeted this week a little bit about management in Cincinnati and just said, okay, because, I answered a tweet. It was like, Bob Castellini's tired of losing. Why doesn't he do something? So my question then came along was, well, how many games do you have to lose in a row before you fire the manager?
Yeah. Losing season.
How long does it have to go on? Because I'm in favor of them losing that many games to get a new manager. So that's what I wish would happen. It didn't, but
I almost think he's got something on him. I swear I do, because I'm thinking, wow, this guy. You're 35 games out for 2 years in a row. And here you are in the cellar again it's a young team, and there is some promise going down the road, but it ain't gonna be this year. And now you got Cozart on the shelf. Now they're talking about unloading Votto because if he agrees to it, and I think I'm starting to hear that he may be a little bit more agreeable to leaving Cincinnati. So, it ain't getting any better, but they still stick with that same manager. Let's run down the scoreboard and we'll jump in and talk about it. Last night the Angels beat the Yankees 8-3. Yankees have lost 7 in a row. They're in a tailspin. Cardinals beat the Phillies 8-1. Hear me well. Look out, because the Cardinals, of course, are playing the Phillies, the worst team in the National League, but Cardinals may be getting it turned around here. Orioles beat the Indians 6-5. Rays, as Greg said, stopped the Reds. They didn't stop them. They're not doing anything. That's the wrong way to say it. Rays beat the Reds 6-5. It's not like they stopped the locomotive, because the locomotive ain't going anywhere.
Well, the Reds made a comeback attempt in the 8th and 9th, but just fell a run short.
Always the optimist. Okay.
Yeah.
Nationals beat the Marlins 12-3. Giants double up the Braves 6-3. Pirates over the Brewers 7-3. Cubs shut out the Padres 4-0. Cubs starting to get it together a little bit. Rangers over the Blue Jays 6-1. Twins beat the White Sox 9-7. Boston 8, Kansas City 3. The Rockies beat the Diamondbacks 4-3. Houston over the Athletics of Oakland. Oakland A's doubled them up 8-4 to the Astros. Dodgers all over the Mets, beat them like a drum, 12-0. You talking about a franchise in disarray? In my humble opinion, are the New York Mets. They're just not going anywhere fast. And the Mariners beat the Tigers in 10, 5-4. By the way, Daniel Norris pitches tomorrow night against the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Against the Seattle Mariners on the West Coast tomorrow night. So that's your Major League scoreboard. Standings right now. Things are tightening up since we were together last week.
Yeah, they have Boston's moved into first place over the Yankees. Of course, Yankees, you mentioned that 7-game losing streak that the Yankees are in the middle of right now, and they've been 3-7 over the last 10 games. Boston's been 6-4. So when that happens, change is going to be made, and that's what's happened. Boston has moved into first place in the American League East. So the Yankees are spinning a little bit, but hey, they're still 38-30. They're half a game behind Boston, and we'll see what they've got. I don't think they're finished by any stretch of the imagination. So, that's a great division. I think all those teams are really good. Tampa Bay is better than I thought they were going to be as well. You call it their no-name offense. These guys that you've barely heard of that are hitting for them, but they're hitting the ball. So Tampa Bay's doing well. We've had another change in the American League Central as well. Cleveland has now passed the Minnesota Twins for first place as well. So the Twins have been 3-7 in their last 10 games, and Cleveland was 7-3. So
Did you expect Cleveland to be there?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I picked Cleveland to win that division. Minnesota has been a surprise team. I don't think they're going to go away, though. I think they're going to hang around. And Kansas City was 8-2 over their last 10 games. So they're on the verge of being a 500 team, which we didn't see that happening, I think, early on as well.
I think the heat's on Ned Yost, and I think the Royals are responding, and as you said, starting to move up, winning 8 of the last 10. Detroit, I think Brad Ausmus may be in trouble. They are now 6 under. Norris pitches tomorrow night for Detroit in Seattle, but I think they're underperforming. What about you for Detroit?
Yeah, I think they are. I mean, with the names they have, with the payroll they have, with the pitching staff they have, I did not expect them to be an under 500 team at this point in the season.
We're talking to Greg Sauer. You see on the screen with our Major League Baseball update every week. He's forgot more about baseball than I know, so I bring him in because he knows what's going on and knows it well. In the National League, Washington kind of running away with it in the East. In the West, it's a pretty tight race, but again, in the Central Division, you've got that one's a pretty tight race too. And there again, say what you want, but Milwaukee, we're almost to the halfway point of the season, and the Brewers are hanging, surprisingly enough. So kind of break down the 3 divisions right now in the National League.
Okay, in the East, it's all Washington. They have a 10.5 game lead over second place Atlanta. They're the only team with a winning record in the East. I wouldn't be surprised if they finish the season as the only team with a winning record in the East.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's how it's going to end up. That's hard to do, with the fact that the teams in the divisions play each other so much. But I think Washington is just going to dominate that. The other teams are going to beat each other up and then lose bad when they play teams in the other divisions or in the American League. So I think that's what's going to happen. I think Washington's going to perhaps be the only team with a winning record in the National League East when the season's over. Philadelphia's already 20 games out. Think about that. We're 70 games into the season. They're 20 games out of first place.
That is how bad they are. The Phillies are terrible.
And San Francisco's 20 games out as well.
So I still say Bruce Bochy's in trouble. The Giants are, you talked in the preseason they're going to be okay, but I don't think they're going to be as bad as they are.
No, I did not expect San Francisco to be this bad at all. I thought they would I thought they would be there perhaps where the Diamondbacks are, and I didn't expect the Diamondbacks to be as bad as San Francisco's been, but I thought they would. I thought the Diamondbacks would be in 4th place. I had no idea San Francisco would be in 5th.
We're here live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in Johnson City, having a big time as we do every Wednesday. Tomorrow will be at Champion Chevrolet. Friday, brand new location will be at Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreens plant in South Johnson City. Top 10 fastest growing small businesses in America. One of the top 10. Blue Lizard just did $1 million expansion, and they do a phenomenal job. And so we're going to be there with the CEO and have a big time with Jeff and all the folks at Blue Lizard on Friday of this week. The next Friday back into Food City will be in Clinchfield Street in Kingsport. Corey Seager. Let's talk about Corey Seager from the Los Angeles Dodgers. Of course, his teammate, Cody Bellinger, was supposed to get all the pub the other night, and he did it for one night. His NL leading 22nd home run. It was the first inning blast. It's the fastest, he reached the fastest plateau for home runs, or one of the fastest in the history of Major League Baseball. And so everybody kind of talked about him and what he did the other night. But then along comes Corey Seager, the reigning NL Rookie of the Year, hit not 1, not 2, but 3 home runs, and gave him a career-high 6 RBIs last night. So, and he had a chance to hit a 4th home run of the 6th inning, came to the plate, the bases loaded, and flew out to left field. Although it was a long drive to the warning track, he almost had 4.
Yeah.
Seager went 4 for 5 with 3 home runs, a double tonight, and 6 RBIs. He kind of took the red off the candy, if you will, of Cody Bellinger, who had done some pretty cool things earlier in the week for the Dodgers as a catcher. So LA's got some sticks out there, obviously.
Yeah, they do, and Seager had those 3 home runs by the 5th inning. So, I'm thinking, he's got a great shot at 4. And, of course, like you said, he almost did it. Bellinger is a fascinating player, though. He's hit those 22 home runs in 52 games this year. And just to kind of let you think about what kind of power this guy's got, he has 22 home runs. He has 20 singles. He has more home runs. He has more home runs than he has singles. So, he could be like Dave Kingman. I know Dave Kingman some seasons had more home runs than singles as well. But hey, I'm not going to compare Cody Bellinger to Dave Kingman. He's hitting about 270 right now, and of course that's better than Kingman ever hit. So,
here's the other thing. Look at this too. When you have Corey Seager has had 3 home runs by the 6th inning, that tells me the pitching staff of the Mets is so bad. This guy's been up 3 times in 6 innings. That means they're hitting around, needless to say, through the lineup. Numerous times for him to get up and have 3 chances to hit home runs by the 5th inning. Because most of the time, on the average, you get 4 at-bats a game. Most of the time, 3 to 4 averages for a 9-inning game. This guy had 3 shots for home runs, hit all 3 by the 5th inning. Tells you how bad the Mets pitching staff was and is. They got beat 12-0. So Corey Seager stealing Bellinger's thunder last night a little bit.
Yeah, and the Dodgers have won 5 in a row. The last 10 games are 9-1, and of course 6 of those wins were against Cincinnati. But I don't know; those shouldn't even count.
No.
They shouldn't even count.
No. It's like playing a little league team. So now George Springer, Houston Astros. This guy gets a leadoff home run against the Oakland A's the other night. Why is that significant? Springer for the Astros, his 21st home run of the season overall, his 8th leadoff home run. He's had 8 leadoff home runs all of last season, so this guy's in there again in the record books with double-digit leadoff home runs in a single season. Alfonso Soriano, Brady Anderson, Bobby Bonds, Charlie Blackmon. So this guy's, in there making history as well. George Springer, the leadoff man for the Houston Astros.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting he's leading off for one thing. I don't know that I would even consider him a great leadoff hitter, more of a power guy, but that's where they have him in the lineup, and he's producing. If they keep him there, he may rival Ricky Henderson, who I think has the record for most leadoff home runs for a career.
Here's another interesting stat. We're talking to Greg Salyer. Aaron Judge, young man for the Yankees, again getting ready to hit the record books for the Yankees. His 24th home run of the season last night, opposite field shot, quickly approaching the franchise's single-season home run record for rookies. Aaron Judge, 24. Joe Gordon back in 1938 with 25. Bobby Mercer, 1969, had 26. And look at the man.
Joe DiMaggio.
Joe DiMaggio, 29 home runs back in 1936. And so Judge is 5 away from those, and we're not even the halfway point of the season.
Yeah, let me go out on a limb here and say if he stays off the disabled list, he will obliterate that record. He won't double it, but he may come close.
Unbelievable. Also, Anthony Rizzo, another leadoff hitter. Again, another home run last night for the Cubbies. And so Rizzo 6 for 6 with a double, 3 home runs and a walk in his 7 games as a leadoff hitter. Edwin Encarnacion takes one up in the second deck of Camden Yards last night. And so those are some of the stuff going on. Joe West, the umpire, just called his 5,000th game of his career. Country Joe West, as Marty calls him. Marty Brenneman, the voice of the Reds. So some cool stuff. If you're a fan of the Angels, great good news for Mike Trout, hitting off a tee next couple of days. So feels like he can get back pretty soon. At least coming back after the All-Star break, which is good news for the Angels.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and the Angels have continued to win. I mean, they're at 500, and they weren't at 500 when Mike Trout went on the DL. So they have continued to win, and just getting him back is going to be extra gravy, I think. I mean, he's the best player in baseball. I was afraid he was going to be out for a couple months at least. And it appears that he's making some great strides. And when you mess up your thumb, you just don't know how bad it's going to be. But that it appears that he's coming back pretty quickly.
Imagine trying to play baseball with a bum thumb, trying to hold the bat, either throwing the ball with your bare hand or catching it in the glove with your thumb. That's hurt, so not easy to do. Red Sox bust third baseman Pablo Sandoval. Hurt again. This guy's been a big financial bust for the Red Sox, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a list of things here I was going to talk about some pressing needs that some of the contenders have, and for the Red Sox, that's it, a third baseman. They need a third baseman. They felt good enough about Sandoval that they traded Travis Shaw, and they got what they needed for Travis Shaw. So that was a good move for them, and I think the Brewers as well. But Sandoval has just not performed. I mean, and in San Francisco, he was the guy. He won some World Series over there. Boston thought they'd bring him in and pay him bukus of money, and that production would continue. Unfortunately, he's been hurt or in a overweight or in a season-long slump every year they've had him. So he's not produced. He's not done what they were hoping that he would do.
To show you right here real quick what you've got, the watermelon mint lemonade here at Chick-fil-A, Crossings, North Johnson City. Fresh squeezed Chick-fil-A lemonade mixed with natural watermelon and mint flavors. That's available right here. And also the brand new sandwich that's flying out here. We had Drew on talking about it earlier. The Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich, grilled chicken with brown sugar and pepper blend bacon, topped with Colby Jack cheese and Smokehouse barbecue sauce. The bacon's like candy. You had this one yet?
I've had it. It's good.
Oh, yeah. That's what I get every day now, man. I love it. Great sandwich. It's for a limited time again here at Chick-fil-A. All right, we talked about Bellinger. Let's talk. We talked about what, and in fact, I need to and we're going to get to what you've got. The fastest to 20 home runs in a career is Bellinger, who ties Wally Berger from 1930 and Gary Sanchez from 2016, the Yankees catcher, in getting here that quickly. So part of history, and as we said, Corey Seager trumped him last night with the big night he had for the Los Angeles Dodgers. So you've got some stuff. You brought some. I didn't realize you had all that.
Oh, yeah, I got a bunch of stuff. But, I always bring more than I have time for.
There you go.
Well,
all right.
One of the things we need to talk about before we get into that is Pittsburgh Pirates. They are slowly and very quietly
coming up,
moving back into contention. 7-3 over the last 10 games, and they're now 4 games out of first place in the National League Central. They're in third place. They've passed St. Louis, so or they're at least tied with St. Louis. They're both 4 games back, but just a move that I wanted us to at least mention because I think that was a significant thing that we need to see.
7 out of the last 10, the Pirates, and so they're slowly getting a little mo, as they say. And everybody wants to get a little mo at the All-Star break because at the All-Star break you either become buyers or sellers depending on your team. If you're not having a good year, you're unloading all your money players and trying to build for the future. If you're in the hunt at the All-Star break, you're buying players up to give you some reinforcement for the stretch run. So it's interesting to see how it's all going to shake out here in the next couple of weeks. All-Star break's right around the corner, so we'll talk about Cozart here in a minute. But you've got some stuff. The 10 most pressing needs right now among contending clubs. First one would be the Washington Nationals. What do they need?
Yeah, the Nationals need a closer. That's their one thing that they really need. The only thing they don't have on their team. Which they have a guy that's fulfilling that role, but I think they would like to see an upgrade. And the Nationals are going to go out and get that upgrade before the trade deadline. I am almost sure. Because I think they expect to go far into the playoffs this year and be playing late into October.
The next 2 teams, it's crazy we're even talking about them because I never thought they'd be where they are. The Brewers and the Twins, what do they need for help for contending clubs? And I never dreamed they'd be contenders. And so contending clubs, the Brewers and the Twins.
Yeah, surprise teams there. And both of those teams can use some bullpen help. But both of them need arms that can be fresh out of the bullpen when they're called upon. It's kind of an interesting need because everybody needs that same thing. But, of course, these guys specifically because of where they find themselves at this point in the season. So at the trade deadline, I think both of those teams are going to be buyers, and I think that's what both of them are going to be looking for. So, I'm anxious to see who they find and who they find available and what they're having to give up to get what they need to win this year.
We're talking to Greg Salyer coming up. We're going to be joined by Ken Stoltz, who's coming up for a few minutes from Doe River Gorge. He's going to join us. And then also my buddy Dave Onge is going to be here in just a few minutes from the Johnson City Press. The Orioles and the Cardinals, they're in the hunt. What do they need?
Yeah, both of these teams are fading a little bit, I think, right now. And a little concerned about both of them. If they continue in the spiral that they're in, they may be sellers instead of buyers. Especially the Cardinals.
Oh, wait a minute.
But,
I've never heard you ever say you're concerned about the Cardinals.
Well, okay. If I were a Cardinals fan, I would be concerned about where they are right now.
Being a Reds fan, he ain't concerned about the Cardinals like
that. That's true. I'd love to see my Reds catch the Cardinals right now. The Orioles need some starting pitching. That I knew going into the season that was going to be their one need. That was the one thing they needed, and that's still their need. They're going to have to get somebody who can come in and they don't need a number one starter. They need a guy who's about a number 2 or a number 3 starter to come in and pitch effectively for them, to pitch long into games, and to help them save their bullpen a little bit. The Cardinals, and everybody has been talking about this, everybody's been saying it, they need a middle of the order bat. I just kind of scratched my head when they traded Matt Adams to the Braves, which they weren't playing him. I mean, he was sitting the bench pretty much. But, this guy went to Atlanta and just started knocking the cover off the ball. And he fulfills that very thing that really the Cardinals need, is that middle of the lineup bat that can hit the long ball when it's needed. He's done it consistently now for the Braves since he's been there. And the Cardinals are going to have to go out and get somebody if they're going to be in contention this year. We've already talked about the Red Sox and their third baseman. Yeah, we already talked about that. The Indians and the Cubs, 2 teams that were in the World Series last year, starting pitching. They both need starting pitching. But, I mean, who doesn't need starting pitching? The Reds don't have any.
Yeah.
So they need somebody who can come in. I mean, because let's face it, other than Kluber, I think we could say that the starting pitchers on both of those teams have underperformed this year. They've done less than what I expected them to do. So both of those teams are looking for starters. The Astros, they need a starter as well, and the Yankees. They need that number 1 guy. They need to go out and make that big trade, that big blockbuster. I mean, it needs to be something major. Like, you remember the year when Clemens came back to the Yankees? He went over and pitched in Houston for a while, and he came back, and it was such a big deal in New York. It needs to be a move like that, where if they introduce a guy at the stadium, it's going to be thunderous applause. I mean, that's what the Yankees are going to have, I think. They've got the bats. They have the bullpen. They have everything else in place, but they need that big guy, that number 1 guy that they can look to, that they can say every 5th day when he's on the mound, hey, we have a great chance to win this game, and we're probably going to win this game.
Scoreboard update, Nationals and Marlins scoreless in the bottom of the first. Scoreboard update, the Rays lead the Reds 8-0 in the first inning, so it's No, I'm jerking his chain. It's scoreless in the first. I wanted to see what he would do. No, it's nothing. Both teams, Washington and Miami, scoreless. Reds and the Devil Rays scoreless. Couple of day games going on in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, Tim Adelman's pitching for the Reds today, so he actually has a winning record as a starter for the Reds this year. Go figure, So he's a guy that really nobody had ever heard of. Nobody expected him to do anything, and he's come in and pitched really well in Cincinnati. I got to give him a shout out a little bit because he's a guy that we talk about how the Reds have no pitching. Well, this is a guy that nobody expected to do anything, and he has been a serviceable starter for the Reds this year.
Before I let him go, we'll talk All-Star voting next week. It'll be a little closer, but before I let you go, what's going to be going on in the church house this week?
Oh, we got a special surprise Sunday morning. My intern's going to be preaching.
Oh.
Yeah.
Noah's in the house.
Noah's going to be preaching. He's at the beach this week, so I thought, if he's going to take a week off and go to the beach, let him preach Sunday morning.
That's it. Bring him back.
So he's going to be doing that. And we got something big coming up a week from Sunday as well. On Sunday evening at 6 o'clock, Phil Dalton, a magician that I met on a mission trip last year, is going to be there doing his show. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. We've been emailing back and forth this morning, and we're getting really excited about Phil Dalton coming to Southwestern Baptist Church.
He'll be coming here on July the 2nd. We'll have more to say about that next week. You'll get you something to eat, my friend.
I sure will.
Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City, here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Back at the Tom Douglas Sports Show, we've got my man coming up in just a minute, Dave Angie, the Johnson City Press. But Ken, want to get him on. Ken Stoltzfus, the COO of Doe River Gorge, and had the golf tournament on Monday. Man, it flies by. On Monday. And so from everything I could tell, went very, very well.
It was a great tournament. You know, one thing, Tom, I was going to tell you is I had people calling me and texting me on Friday or Saturday and Sunday. It's a 90% chance of rain, flash flood watches. And I thought, well, okay, this is the 21st year of the tournament. We've had some rain, here and there before, but I thought, it's a scattered chance of scattered showers. Well, I was driving out to the ridges to take some stuff out there to Blackthorn Club on Sunday night. There's a big rainbow on the left-hand side, and I just thought, well, Lord, that might be a sign for tomorrow. And it rained 20 minutes during the whole day.
Awesome.
We came a shower in the afternoon, and play was great. We raised a lot of money for Doe River Gorge for scholarships for kids, for the ministry programs. Great group of sponsors, great group of players. We had 27 teams played in the tournament, and it was a great day. So we wanted just to thank everybody that came out and played, thank all of our sponsors, food sponsors. Another quick story I'll tell you, Chick-Fil-A did the food for the lunch, and they Elizabethton store and Johnson City store both. And so they brought, Chick-fil-A came, and I said, okay, they're here, they're setting up. And I looked over, and there was a bag of sandwiches sitting there, and nobody around. I said, well, where'd everybody go? I said, well, they left. I said, well, we were supposed to have, like, the whole
Shooting match.
Yeah. And so they said, oh, no. So I called. And they said, no, that was the delivery from the Elizabethan store. The Johnson City team is coming with everything else. And so I was like, okay.
They came in. The cavalry came in.
I thought, well, I just need to just shut up and let the details play out because they had it figured out. But Chick-fil-A did a great job.
We're talking to our buddy again. So there it is, DayQuest. Let me get my finger out of the way. DayQuest, Saturdays of fun and adventure for families and groups at Doe. You see the website, DoeRiverGorge.com. Tell us about this cool way to get over there on Saturdays.
Yeah, DayQuest is a great opportunity. You know, we run summer camps in the summer. We run 9 sessions of camp. It runs from Sunday through Friday. And so that's our main program in the summer. But on Saturdays, we have what we call DayQuest, and that's basically from 10 to 4:30. You can come to Doe River Gorge and enjoy all the waterfront lake activities. You can ride the train. You can play. You can ride our Unimog 4-wheel drive truck. You can do a climbing wall. You can do skeet shooting, ride horses. You can do all kinds of fun activities with your family, with your church group, with your business, company picnics. Just for the day. So we charge an admission fee, and then you can come and enjoy the beauty and the activities of Doe River Gorge just for the day on Saturdays.
And so for all the information, it's DoeRiverGorge.com. Of course, coming up this Saturday, then July 1st, the 15th, the 22nd, the 29th, then 3 Saturdays in August. It's all right there on the website. And then 2 Saturdays wrap it up in September.
Yes.
Still hot in September. The water's still good.
It's still warm. And, you know, if it turns out to be one of those cool September days, we do some other activities. You know, we can do other things besides the lake if somebody doesn't want. But the thing about our triple water landing zip line is you can ride that and get out. You don't have to stay in the water all day. And so that's fun even when it's cool.
Triple water landing zip lines, the blob, the rolling log, the water volleyball, the lake inflatables, water basketball, horseback riding, climb the new climbing tower above the lake, sand court volleyball, skeet shooting, 9-hole disc golf course. It's all there. So, again, you can check it out on Saturdays. Of course, camp is going on right now during the week, but on the weekend, there it is, DayQuest. Saturdays of fun and adventure for families and groups, DoeRiverGorge.com. What'd you have to eat today? You ate? What'd you have?
I had Chick-fil-A. I had a grilled sandwich because I had Chick-fil-A on Monday. So I've had a lot of Chick-fil-A today, and it's always good, isn't it?
It's always good.
I went the grilled route, you know, with the lettuce and the tomato.
Anything.
A little bit healthier option.
Anything Chick-fil-A is good as far as I'm concerned.
But I had the fries, the waffle fries. You just can't go wrong with that.
Set you free, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll get you back on soon. We come back
absolutely.
On soon.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate the time.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
We will get him back on very, very soon. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back, and my man's waiting in the wings, Dave Onge from the Johnson City Press, the one they call Thud. We'll talk to him next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE Master Technicians here. With the ratio, it goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop, so it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import and Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitat, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad-spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Okay. We're back live again on the Tom Dillon Sports Show. Heat, look here. He's got his. See, that's Marshall, isn't it? And that's that.
No. Not there's anything wrong with Marshall. I was too quick. I was too quick.
That's it. He looked at me like, what are you smoking over there? You lost your mind? That is the M for the big house, right? The
Michigan,
Wolverines.
yeah.
You got it.
USA Today came out this week with kind of ranking their football teams going into the preseason. I think Michigan was somewhere around number 4. Which,
there you go.
Yeah, we're excited.
Not that you're gloating or anything, but you got the Wolverines preseason number 4.
Yeah, that's USA Today. I can't argue with them.
No,
that's big time.
It's in print. It's real.
It is. Yes, sir.
It's all truth. My man's in the house again from John City Press. You can see on the screen. Love having this guy on. You were busy, man. I will say this. I'm not trying to blow smoke, but I thought you had some great articles from Bristol Dragway. Those drivers are so accessible, and you really had some good stuff. Good ink last week from the Thunder Valley Nationals.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head with that. The accessibility. You know, those the drivers are all available for interviews, and when you ask questions, they all open up and really, you know, in my line of work, the story you write is dependent on, you know, the quotes you get and the access you get to who you're dealing with, and the more open your subject is, the better the story is going to be. So I owe all the credit there to the NHRA and those drivers for those stories this weekend, because first class, wonderful to deal with, and really opened up and gave me some great storylines. And so it was a fun weekend. Great racing. You know, I think Sunday, when you look at the 3 winners, 3 distinct, very interesting stories, I felt like I could have written 2 or 3 times as much as I did. You know, there was so much going on. So it was definitely a fun weekend.
I had Clay Milligan on myself last week when we were champion last Thursday on the phone, and you know, for him to win, and of course, if you don't know the story, on Father's Day he loses his son Dalton to a motorcycle accident. So it was bittersweet for Father's Day, and he said, I don't really even talk about Father's Day because it's so tough for me. Yeah. But he said for him to win, as you said in your article, for him to win on Father's Day, I thought that was pretty neat. So
yeah, he said when he showed up to the track, and you know, they obviously having the event on Father's Day, they play it up a lot, and it's something where, you know, there are so many family connections in the NHRA. You know, you have so many fathers and sons, and you know, fathers and daughters that race against each other, and you know, anywhere you look, pretty much down there in the pits, you see parents and children. So you know, in that environment especially, it can be a really tough day for somebody that's lost a child, and that's where Clay was at. And he said when he got to the track Sunday morning, he didn't even want to hear about it, didn't want to talk about it. You know, just a very painful day. But now, you know, got the win, and said he felt his son was riding with him there. So definitely a big day for him, and really a guy that has been in this sport for so long. I mean, going back to 1998 and had never won. You know, 19 years and never gotten a top fuel win. He's been a solid driver throughout. He's been in a lot of semifinals and finals, been close and never broken through. And then to have it happen on Father's Day in his home state, just a wonderful story.
I want to give a shout out to Colin Brooks and also to Alan Gregory, a couple of guys that watch the show when he's on. When I'm on, it's like, but when he comes, beep, 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 this pops up everywhere. You like it and share it to people? I guess you do, right?
Yeah.
Your adoring fan base?
I'm not ashamed, Tom. I'll put it out there. I'll put it out there. I mean, you know, these people know me. I'm not afraid of looking crazy in front of them, because that's pretty much a daily occurrence.
That's it. My man Thud, Dave Angie, with us here from the John City Press. So we take it from the drags, now we get into the circle track, and here we go. We're 56 days away from the truck race, and we're 59 days away from the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race, which means this race comes up on Friday night, August the 18th. So you're on the countdown of 58 days away. Of course, everybody goes this week to Sonoma, California. Xfinity Series and the Truck Series are in Iowa, but the Cups are in Sonoma. Road race, some folks like it, some folks don't. In the big scheme of things, do you like road races being part of the Cup Series?
I do, and what's interesting about it is, road racing used to be this real genteel thing, and they single file. There's a lot of manners, involved in this, and you saw in the old days too, and this was interesting. You used to see a lot of the ringers. You'd have guys like Boris Said. You'd have just countless guys that were good at road racing who would come in and take over Cup cars, because there were a lot of drivers that just couldn't handle the lefts and the rights and the ups and the downs and everything that happens in road racing. But now I think it speaks to the caliber of Cup drivers from top to bottom. The fact that you don't see those guys anymore, you don't see any ringers. These drivers are all good enough to go out there and compete and run well on road courses. And it's something where instead of there just being maybe 2 or 3 or 4 guys that are going to win. I remember Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon for years. You looked at them and said, these are the guys that are contending this week. Well, now it's wide open. You see people you never expect who wind up winning. But on the other end of that, the manners and all that I was talking about, that sports car type mentality, that's been thrown out the window. Hey, it might be wine country, but these guys are going to get in there. They're going to mix it up. I mean, there's more paint traded here, than there is a lot of places. So it's made for very entertaining racing, and it's a new brand of racing. And I don't know how much of it has to do with the fact that a win gets you into the chase now. I think that might have made it a little more rock'em sock'em than it used to be, but definitely always something I think fans look forward to when a road course comes up.
Billy Johnson, case in point, Richard Petty Motorsports pulling Bubba Wallace out of the car this week and putting Billy Johnson in, who is noted for road racing. So they're going after a specialist driver. They've had some pretty good success out there. Casey Kane won it out there for Richard Petty Motorsports earlier in his career. So they're trying to roll the dice and get some guys in the car that will be used to a road course scenario. So the defending champ of the race is Tony Stewart. He's no longer in the circuit, so you'll have a brand new winner this year. But again, then you come back into Daytona and start the second half of the season and kind of go back and start revisiting the tracks from the first part of the year. So it's getting ready to get interesting. And of course, June you've got Pocono, and you had Pocono, and in July you've got all these different race courses, or not race courses, but racetracks you're going back to, which leads up to August to Bristol. So we're fixing to get into it hot and heavy now.
Yeah, definitely. We're kind of into that part of the year, and really going to be interesting to see when they go back to the tracks. A lot of times you see when you have a new driver and crew chief combination, or you have a new driver with the team, the first half of the year they're really trying to build things up and get to know things. Once they start going back to tracks, they have notes on how they ran well together the first time, what the driver wants. So you start to see some of the newer teams that maybe had some struggles start to pick it up and kick it up in the second half of the year. I think you look at a guy like Suarez, who was put into that ride there in place of Carl Edwards kind of at the spur of the moment. They weren't really prepared for it, weren't really ready for it. They were kind of going by the seat of their pants the first time through. Well, now they have a lot more data with the driver in the car to deal with this time around, so that's a situation where you might see a driver kind of kick it up in terms of performance in the second half of the year. So, and you look at this time of year too, Tony Stewart was a guy that was notorious for really picking it up during the summer, and I don't know if it was because they were going to tracks for a second time, or if he just liked the warm weather. It just suited him for some reason. It seemed like for him the season never really started till you got late June, early July, and it started to get time where that weather was hot and you're hitting the second half of the year.
We're talking to our buddy Dave Angie. We're live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in Johnson City, and of course, 'tis the season, our first day of summer, 2017. It feels like it outside. I understand we got some rain coming from Tropical Storm Cindy. It's going to be in here impacting our weather this weekend. They're telling us lots of rain coming our way. So
unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
I'm going out there to cover motocross this weekend. It's all just mud. That's all mud out there. Thud in the mud this weekend. We're going to be. I can't tell you, and this is nothing against anybody. Every time I've gone to cover racing this year, there's been at least a rain delay. I'm just the farmers love me. They're hoping I go cover more racing.
This guy comes, it's like a black cloud. When this guy shows up, there's rain going to follow him.
Yeah.
So that's right. We got rain this weekend at Muddy Creek Raceway, I should say. The motocross out behind the airport, big weekend for that. So it's a big gymnastics event this weekend at Meadowview and Kingsport. Got them coming home all over the country, the National AAU Gymnastics. So lots going on here in the region. stage drivers for NASCAR. We're going to switch and talk a little college football here in a moment. By the way, we can go over at 1 o'clock because we're not bound by time here on Facebook. So if we have to get Thud on for a little while longer, as long as his contract says he can stay after 1 o'clock, we will. By the way, we got, I'll just say we got something coming up he and I are getting ready to do, and I'm going to leave it at that. We're very excited about that. I'm going to give you the details coming up here over the next couple of weeks, but this guy is a pro, and I want to tap into his expertise, and we're going to. So we got something cooking. It's been blessed. The folks we needed to have it blessed have blessed it. So it's on, and we're going to talk more about that in the next couple of weeks. But I'm looking forward to doing some things with this guy later on in the year. All right, so let's take stage points. It's the new portion of the NASCAR rules this year. Do you like it? Or first off, do you like the stages and the importance of it? And then talk about some of the guys that are doing good in the stage points, and that helps you get into the championship, right?
Yeah, I think, it's a really good indication of who runs well throughout the entire race. And I think that ought to be rewarded. You've seen there's some drivers, you look down at number 10 at Matt Kenseth, the guy that's notorious for always kind of running in the back. And then he'll pop up at the end of the race, and then score his points. But, I think if you want the race to be exciting throughout, you got to reward drivers who are aggressive and try to race toward the front for the entire way. And I think Martin Truex Jr., you look at him up at the top of this thing, and Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch, those are the drivers that have been consistently good this year. Now, those are also drivers who have been caught up in late race trouble, had some wrecks, gotten knocked out at the end. But, they are rewarded in this way for how hard they race throughout. And I think if I remember the Bristol race in the spring correctly, I think adding those stages kind of upped the intensity of the racing for those first 300 laps or so. You could really tell a difference. They were going a lot harder. People were racing harder for positions, in the middle of the pack, front of the pack, all throughout. And, when I remember how good that race was, it was because it was a beginning to end good race. There was action all the way throughout that kind of kept you on the edge of your seat. So just with the limited perspective of being at Bristol and seeing what it did there, I'm in favor of it throughout because it really helped out.
We're talking again to Dave Onge. Again, there's racing this week in Sonoma. As we said, we are 56 days away from the Bristol race weekend for the Truck Series. Again, at your local Food City for a limited time. Save big on August race tickets. Again, at your local Food City, the Food City front office. Tickets for $30 for the Friday night race, the Food City 300. Kids get in free both Wednesday and on Friday. And then you come back on Saturday. Kids are just $10, kids 12 and under, to get to the big race, the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race. Adult tickets at Food City, only $60. They tried this for a trial balloon up there in the spring, and it was such a big hit that Steve Smith said not only, and they did too, they sold tickets to the drags the same way, but they are also back selling tickets to the fall race here at Bristol with the Food City 300 and the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race. So it's a chance to stop by your local Food City at the front office. And as we said, trial balloon experimental thing went really, really big.
Yeah, and I like getting those kids in there, for free or reduced prices. And, I was watching in the spring. I kind of looked down from the press box, see a good view of the stands down there. And I saw a lot more young people, a lot more kids, even up teenagers, looked like high school age kids that were out there enjoying the races. And, that's the key for the sport moving forward is, getting those young kids out to the track. The other thing about that, you talk about the reduced price of the tickets, for folks, what's included in that is just amazing. It's not just the race. People think about, I'm paying this money, I'm going to go here, I'm going to see a race. But, go out in the morning, get out there, early afternoon, you're going to have all sorts of entertainment. They got music, live music out there. They have all sorts of opportunities to kind of see drivers around the property and stuff going on. And, stuff for kids too, inflatables and kind of the bounce houses and that stuff for them to blow off a little bit of steam. Just a lot of good food, a lot of good stuff going on at the track throughout the day. So you pay that price, you don't get to just get the race. You get a lot of entertainment, a lot of other stuff to go along with it. It's kind of a full day out there, a full day to kind of keep the family entertained. So
carnival, atmosphere,
yes, sir.
Country music, racing, you got all that thrown into one, kind of throw it all in one bag and shake it up, and that's what goes on.
Also, giant turkey legs. Have you seen those things?
No.
They sell them in the concession stand down there. And I think they have them at Dollywood too. But these giant, I saw this guy.
Giant turkey legs.
This guy, no shirt, out there wandering around. He had a Viking hat on, right, with the horns. I don't know if he's a Tennessee High fan or what, but he had the Viking hat, big beard. He was out there just gnawing on a turkey leg. And I'm saying, man, that guy looks like he's having a good time.
You're being serious.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm telling you, I saw it in his eyes. It looked like he's having the time of his life.
It's probably from West Virginia. Probably one of my relatives.
They draw from all 50 states. So.
That's true. So anyway, racing is not that far away. We'll get ever so closer every day. We click them off, and we're very excited being up there again for the racing action to the world's fastest half mile. So we'll talk more about that as we get closer. In fact, we'll be doing some shows from up there in the lobby at the Bruton Smith building when we get into mid-July and early August. We're here again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Talking to Dave Angie, see on the screen. Let's switch gears to college football. And NCAA says Will Greer, you can quarterback the West Virginia Mountaineers. He's going to looks like be the starting guy over Skylar Howard, who's gone. So big news for Mountaineer fans in West Virginia. We have a big base of those watching the show. We appreciate that. So they should be excited. Will Greer, 6 starts at Florida, 66% passing completion when he was quarterbacking the Gators. This kid's going to be an instant hit, and I would think have an instant impact on the Mountaineer football program.
Oh, I'll tell you, I hope his arm's rested up because, man, they throw the football there at West Virginia. It's, one of my favorite teams to watch, to be honest with you. And me and my brother Matt loves their coach there, Dana. What's his
Holgerson?
Holgerson, yeah. Big fan of Dana. And my brother's been saying for years, man, this guy's an offensive genius, And every time when Michigan's not on, he's watching West Virginia because they fling it all over creation. They're so fun to watch. The key with them is always, do they have enough on defense to be able to make enough stops to win football games? And you look at a lot of the games in that league, high scoring. You see some basketball scores there, and West Virginia's good at outscoring people. For them to really take the next step, it'll be interesting defensively to see what they have. But and I've seen Greer play, and you plug that arm into that offense, and they're going to be in great shape this year offensively.
A couple of stories. Here's one with the Alabama wide receiver, Robert Foster, injured in a dirt bike accident. Got hit by a car on Saturday. 27 stitches in his back and 2 in his wrist. Don't seem to be more serious than that, although that's serious enough. He's not expected to miss any time due to these accidents. Took place in a parking lot outside of the football facility on Alabama's campus there in Tuscaloosa. So 5 passes, 55 yards last year. Supposed to be having a bigger role coming up in 2017. I think this time of year all the college football coaches just cringe because the guys go home for a couple of weeks before they come back and start late summer workouts, or at least they can have that. Not all of them do, but a lot of them go home just to get away for a couple of weeks. And that's when you read stuff like this, kids just being kids, and just one of the guys Saban's counting on. So
yeah.
As I said, I think the coaches cringe when these guys go home for a couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah, it's it's got to be. What's ironic about it is this is kind of the time of year when, in college coaches, we talked about it last week, with all the satellite camps and everything else, their vacation time or their time off shrinks. Yep. It shrinks down to about this time.
Yep.
And they're spending it cringing when they read the paper every day. Is one of my kids going to be in the paper, yep. for wrecking his dirt bike somewhere, or, And I can't throw any stones because I was nuts when I was younger. So, I got in my share of trouble. It just, nobody ever, nobody ever would have read about it in the newspaper because there wasn't a football program counting on me or anything. So, but no, it's got to be a nerve-wracking time for them.
Sure.
And I'm glad that young man isn't hurt any worse. I mean, that's a serious deal. He hopefully learns from it without paying too much of a price. Sounds like he'll be back ready for fall camp. So.
Philip Fulmer signs on yesterday, go back in the Tennessee Volunteer Camp in a kind of an ambassador capacity, kind of a PR position, part-time job for $100,000 a year. So he'll answer, I think, to the president or to the AD, but I think that was a smoke the peace pipe and get him back on campus. He had lobbied to be the athletic director, didn't get it.
Yeah.
He had obviously verbally and was pretty adamant about his displeasure of the fact that he did get passed over. So I think this was a olive branch.
Yeah, it's. I think he's making 6 figures for that job, and there's really not much to it. I think it's worth it to the University of Tennessee not to have their most successful coach in recent times, a national championship winning coach. They don't want him out there bad-mouthing the school. I mean, it's worth it to pay whatever they're paying him just for him not to be saying anything negative. Then on top of that, I mean, he'll be an asset. He can go out and he can. He's great at giving speeches. He's great at doing stuff at alumni events, and maybe even involved possibly in recruiting in some way if Butch Jones maybe needs him for that. It's one of those deals where every college coach, at every program is looking for a little edge wherever they can find it. And, being able to maybe bring Philip Fulmer into your football camp or bring him into a room where there's a recruit you really want, and just having the man there who coached Peyton Manning and went on to win a national championship with this school, that can't hurt. So definitely a good move by Tennessee, I think.
Well, I think that's the key, too, because he's part of the old school, if you will, the old guard, the Jason Wittens, the Peyton Mannings. By him not getting that AD job, I think that kind of left a little sour taste in their mouth, too.
Yeah.
And so I think it helps all parties to have him back in because he's the link to the past and the success of the program. And, of course, since then they've hit some rougher waters, obviously, but apparently Coach Jones looks like he's kind of smoothing out those waters. But, yeah, I think it was a smart move to get Peyton and those guys back feeling good. Not that they weren't, but back feeling good about the program. You have one guy that's Jonathan Crompton. We had the story last week, and this guy had death threats.
Yeah.
Some fans came up to he and his mom, he said, wish you two on your way home might get killed in a car wreck. And I'm thinking, we talked about this last week, so that's probably another one they need to reach out and hand an olive leaf to because, he's out talking negative about the school, and I think, deservedly so, I guess. That's not real cool what happened to him.
Well, I would hope, we talked about the knucklehead factor last week, and everybody's got knuckleheads, and, hopefully folks realize that, that's probably not indicative of the whole fan base there at Tennessee. It's probably a very small part, and we've all got parts of our fan base that we wish would never take to Twitter. But it happens everywhere. And you mentioned Butch Jones a little bit in the link to the past and how important this whole deal is with Fulmer, and just being a Michigan fan and watching when Rich Rodriguez came in from West Virginia. Excellent coach, but I don't think he really grasped the culture. And one of the first things he did was kind of alienate a lot of the ex-players, immediately out of the gate. And, these are guys who have gone on either to play in the NFL or they're really remembered well by people as being legendary college players. And if you don't have their support and their backing and their help to kind of talk to high school coaches, talk to kids, have that reach to say, hey, you need to come to this school. If you've alienated them, that puts you in a bad place recruiting-wise, and that's where it got with Rich Rodriguez, and his support dried up. So if you're Butch Jones, and I know he had nothing to do with who got hired as AD, but you got to be happy that Fulmer's back in the fold the way he is, because the ex-players will be bought in just the way they have been, and that's one thing Butch has been the best at. With Peyton Manning and all those guys, the Ball for Life deal, having everybody hooked into the program, because when you have your past there, that's the tradition that you can sell to the future players.
Oklahoma quarterback Baker Mayfield cleared of all charges of a drunk driving charge earlier in the year, kind of wiped that slate clean. Some folks say wrong. Athletes get preferential treatment. I'm not there, I don't know, but he's been cleared, and Stoops steps away, Lincoln Riley, the new coach. So I guess they're starting with a clean slate, but he's been cleared of all wrongdoing. Agree or disagree?
Well, that's without knowing more about the case, it's hard to say, but I will say when you look at Stoops and the fact that he stepped away when he did, they have had some incidents there. When you look at Mixon and the stuff they had going on, they had some guys playing football under the shadow of some pretty serious accusations, and I don't know if that's the reason that Stoops is gone or why he stepped away, or whether it was forced or it was his decision. The timing of it was very odd. It's a very weird time for a college football coach to leave, and and I don't know if there's any pressure because of incidents like this, but that's kind of what you have to weigh when you're coaching. I mean, if you're a guy that goes and suspends players, does it by the book, and you're tough, and then you lose football games, it seems like alumni and fans, you're going to be on the hot seat anyway. If he goes out and he suspends his best players, they win 6 games last year, they're probably calling for his head, even though he did the right thing. So it's a no-win situation, unfortunately, for coaches, and it seems like people, want it both ways. They want everything to be tough when it comes to dealing with players that have gotten in trouble with the law, but at the same time, you got to win. You got to win football games. So, it's a tough situation, and this one's hard to say, but it's always interesting to see how coaches have to navigate that.
Well, you can say it's wrong, you can, but then if it's a star player, it's wrong, but gosh, give him another chance. That's what you hear a lot. So, high school football, of course, you'll cover for the Johnson City Press this year, as always, and where are they right now? Are they in a down period right now as far as what they can and can't do?
Yeah, they're coming up to the dead period that's coming up, which is time when pretty much everybody involved with high school athletics takes a vacation. Everybody takes the time off when they can. Summer has really shrunk, because these kids go back to school so early now. It used to be, they'd get together for 2 days and all that stuff in August. Well, you can't really do that now because you're in school like August 2nd, August 3rd, in Johnson City. I'm sure it's not too far after that at the other schools around the area. So kind of pushes the calendar up. There's a lot more 7-on-7 league stuff going on than there used to be over the summer. And, if you're not participating in that and doing that, you're going to be falling behind. So it's amazing to see how football's become a more year-round sport in that sense. But, yeah, there's kind of a chance to take a breath here coming up. And then right back into it. It's going to be another year of change in high school football because everybody's divisions and everybody's conferences and all that have changed from where they were last year. So it seems like every 2 years we're erasing that blackboard and starting over with something new. So we'll see how it goes.
I think you're exactly right. And so we're excited about it because it's not that far away. And, high school football first games of the week of the race. So you're talking roughly kickoffs about, 58 days away from the first high school football game. So it will be here before you know it. We'll start all over again. And as I said, we got some cool things up our sleeve we're getting ready to unveil here in the not-too-distant future involving Thud and myself, and I'm very excited about that. Are you excited about it?
Hey, I'm fired up.
There you go.
I'm fired up. I'm afraid to say anything about it because I'm notorious for spilling the beans.
You can't spill anything.
So all I'm going to do is say I'm excited.
It's duct tape across the jaws but once we unveil it, it's going to be, a lot of people will know about it. I can tell you that. We're going to have it all over the place. So, by the way, he likes us and shares us. You can communicate with Dave on Twitter. How do you talk to my man on Twitter?
I am Dave Ongie.
Dave Ongie.
Dave Ongie. You don't have a space. You smash it all together.
O-N, you see it on the screen.
Dave Ongie.
O-N-G-I-E.
Yeah, just take the space out of there and you're good.
There you go.
You have that little, the at Dave Ongie, and it's all smushed together, and then you'll get a hold of me.
There you go.
So how about that crowd in here today, man? This place.
The what?
The crowd in this place, man. I always tell people, it reminds me of, you remember Ricky Morton, the old Rock and Roll Express? Whenever he talks about his old Smoky Mountain wrestling days, if he ever tells you a story about that, he says, man, he said, brother, you never seen so many people. They were hanging from the rafters. That's how it is at Chick-fil-A today. It's always fun to come visit.
It is unbelievable. The traffic in here is unbelievable. And they're ringed all the way around But here's the thing: they get them in, get them out pretty quick. That's the thing.
Oh man, they do.
You say, man, it's crowded, but you can watch how fast, both here and out on the drive-through. There's no moss growing on their wheels. They get them in, get you out, and get you on your way down the road. So, good stuff. You back next week? I never know when your vacation schedule is.
Oh, I'm on vacation.
I knew that.
I'm out of pocket next week. I'm going to North Georgia, and the great thing about North Georgia, don't have a cell phone signal, so
nobody can get you.
Nobody can get me. So
disappearing as you should. Get away and recharge your old batteries. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Wednesday after the 4th.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that would be July the 5th. Is that right?
Sounds
we'll have him back, and at that point we'll be able to spill the beans, as they say. So,
okay. Sounds great, man.
Hungry?
Oh, I could eat.
There you go. Yeah. I've seen him eat it. I've been out with him before. Yeah, he can eat all right. He and I can wolf it pretty good, so we appreciate him. There's my man, Dave Ongie. Go get yourself something to eat, my friend, and
all right.
I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it.
You got it. Dave Ongie with us again from the Johnson City Press. That's going to wrap up the show. We thank him, of course, for coming by. Also, we had, as you know, the guest, we had Ken Stoltzfus from Del River Gorge, also Greg Salyer from the Major League Baseball Update, Haley Weary from First Priority. Also, we got it all started back in the first part of the show with our buddy. That would be, of course, Drew Leach from Chick-Fil-A. So it's all right here. Before we get out of here, one more time, let's tell you what's going on here with Chick-Fil-A, because it is good. And you want to check out this Smokehouse barbecue bacon sandwich. Again, right there, it's the grilled chicken, brown sugar, pepper blend bacon, topped with Colby Jack cheese, the Smokehouse barbecue sauce on a sweet yeast bun for a limited time. And then you come right back and you hit it with a watermelon mint lemonade. Again, that is your lemonade mixed with natural watermelon and mint flavors. And again, stir before you sip. Also available diet lemonade as a lower calorie option. And then, of course, the peach milkshakes, you can't go wrong with that either. So it's all right here at Chick-fil-A. As we wrap up our 543rd show, we'll be rejoining you tomorrow at Champion Chevrolet. Got a full plate there tomorrow. Got folks coming. What's really neat about this show, and I'm very blessed because of it, and I give the credit to the Lord, it has gotten to the point where folks are calling me to be on the show. So the word's getting out there, and we appreciate that very much. And so We're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. And again, we will rejoin you tomorrow at 11 o'clock from Champion Chevrolet, the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. And as always, we'll tell you as we wrap this thing up from Chick-fil-A at the Crossings, North Johnson City, very simply, win or lose, whether you win, whether you lose, be a good sport. Thanks for giving us a watch, and we'll talk to you tomorrow from Champion Chevrolet. So long, everybody.